Hello guys, Xflow 2000 here. Just giving you a little update on the experiments we've been doing with the gluing process and what glues we should use. Experiment 1 had mixed results. Let's move on. Let's start with the Titebond products, which is Titebond 2 with the number 2 on it, right? How I got these results were, and they're not perfect, but I cut blocks of oak that I had left over from old projects into 1 inch by 1 inch squares, and I cut a bunch of them up. And what I did is I just glued them together with different glues that we were going to try with. So basically, you have Titebond 3 glued to itself, Titebond 2, Cason, and hide glue, which is the Knox. Let's start out with Titebond 2. Okay, this is the water resistant one. The results was pretty strong. The joints failed. Not the glue joints, but the wood joint itself. On this one you could see here where it just opened up and the glue joint was there, but the wood failed itself. Let's try, I'll show you another one. But basically they all did the same thing. The glue, this one actually, the glue joint did break a little bit, but mostly wood came off. Okay, of Titebond 2. And here's another one of Titebond 2. Okay, which I was impressed. Very good. I'm happy to go with that. Let's drop that over there. Now we're going to go with Titebond 3, which was what I was most impressed with so far. Titebond 3, you could see that the wood just crumbled. I could not break that joint. There's the glue joint right there. I could not break it. It just crumbled. The wood was just breaking before I could put enough pressure on it to crack it. And the same thing with the other two. Same exact results. As you can see, the joint is intact. There's the joint, and the wood cracked before. And the same thing with this one. Okay. And what I used was just a pair of crescent wrenches, 12-inch crescent wrenches, and put it on there. Now this one is very interesting. This is Titebond 3 glued to itself. How I did this one, as I did all the other ones, I sized it first, let it get tacky, and then I put a nice big bead of Titebond 3 on each side of all 6 pieces. I let that dry for 24 hours. Then I put more Titebond 2 on it, Titebond 3 on it, and as you can see, the joint failed. The glue failed. It gave up. So, seems to me, and it happened in all 3 things, the glue came away from itself. It didn't stick. Same thing there, see? It did not work correctly. Not like the regular Titebond. This here, the joints failed. The glue just popped off. So, I'm going to have to say that Titebond 3 does not stick to itself. But for strength, so far, of the wood glues, Titebond 3 by itself is the best. That showed me the best result as far as breaking wise. Now the other two are a little bit skewed because I don't think I have good recipes. The Knox glue, for instance, it didn't. I broke these. I didn't even have to use the thing. I broke these with my hands. They just came right apart. So that's telling me that my recipe is askew. Same thing with them all. They all broke just apart by themselves. Nothing. And what I'm seeing is when I mixed the Knox glue together, I'm using 2 tablespoons, which is 1 ounce of water, to a half an ounce of the hide glue, which is 2 envelopes, of the Knox glue, which is 2 envelopes, and it's getting gelatin. It gets to be like a gelatin consistency. I heat it up and it turns to a thick syrupy paste, and then it dries like gelatin. It dries. It don't dry good. It don't dry like a hide glue. It dries like, it looks like Jello. So I'm not sure if I'm doing that correctly. I have to do that a little bit more research on this. And then the casing glue, the same thing. It has to be, my recipe is bad. Because what happened was, as I glued it, I followed the recipe. Everything worked correctly, how I did it. But look at what happened. It got like, that's 48 hours. But it happened overnight, where it turned black like that, and it didn't take any. I couldn't get it apart with my hands, but when I put the wrench on it, it didn't take very much force at all to break that joint. And as you could see, it didn't really hold at all on any of them, really. None of the three. They all had the same result. I did 4 of them because after that broke so easily, I did another one where I mixed it up better. And maybe I thought maybe I didn't mix it up good enough, so I did it again. I did another one, and that just broke same exact way. So the natural animal glues and the milk glue is results are out, but our good findings is Titebond 3 is stronger than Titebond 2, and Titebond 3 does not stick to itself. And again, these are very limited tests, and they're not scientifically they're not done in a lab, but they're good enough for me to know what to do. I am going to be putting sinew on Arbo, the 43-inch Red Elm, with Titebond 3. I'm going to use the Titebond 3 and continue researching on the glues. So next time I see you, I will be sinew backing Arbo with Titebond 3, which is our winner. Thanks, guys. God bless. Ask questions, subscribe, like, and see you later.